So what we're doing right now is we're talking about Harvard, Yale, Columbia, and all the other colleges, universities in this country who used to be looked upon as our elite for the rich kids, but really what Harvard was for was to be a location for expectation for the most intelligent, which you could say the most potential. The hardest working Americans could go get a hard working degree. Meaning they were pressed to get educated from an elite school. An elite school means that there's expectations on your shoulders. Like you are going to these schools because you have an obligation and a duty to your country. It's like going to a military school. It's like joining the Army or the Air Force or the military. See, the Army and the military, those people who join the military have the expectation to do their job over here. And as a scholar, if you go to Harvard, there's an expectation for you to uphold law and order and justice and not stand on a wall and cause tyranny in American government or in the country of America. But because you went so far left, you decided that you were going to disintegrate our unification of the country for self-righteous money gains. That's Harvard now. So now Harvard used to be a place for educated scholars to go to school for those who love education, because there are people out there who really they eat up learning, and they're very intelligent. Meaning sometimes I would look at these people in class and be like, dang, I'm really impressed by their education, their ability to memorize stuff. And even some of those people who just memorize stuff, some of those people even had common sense attached to that education, which is what we see in J.D. Vance. See, J.D. Vance is the example of what college brings into the world. Is he is now the vice president. On January, was it 29th? Or maybe it's the 20th, I forget. It doesn't matter. He's not president or vice president at this time. So when we watch these people sit on a platform because they're from Harvard, and we listen to them talk about their emotions and talk as if they're on a podcast and disintegrate scholarly conversations and talk tactical strategy in association to politics, we know there's some concerns going on in Harvard. We know you're not the elite school any longer because you've decided to turn your back on America and support Palestine. You're causing tyranny in our country and disruption in people's lives and firing teachers who aren't willing to accept that as the new norm. So what currently is going on in these schools like Harvard, Yale, and Columbia now is it's a status quo. It's no longer about the education that comes out of the school. It's about the money you're going to make when you're done, because now you have that status of saying Harvard, Yale, Columbia, or whatever dumb thing in your mind, because it's it's attached to loser politicians. However, Kamala Harris went to one of those schools. Supposedly, Michelle Obama went to one of those schools, and so did Obama. However, we still don't have any evidence that they actually went there. And we all know that at some point along the way, Soros, who used to work for a Jewish Gestapo, he's Jewish, went into people's homes, took their furniture out after they went to the get on the train to go to that nasty place. Is that karma, folks? What would you say if you were taken on a train, where your family was taken on the train to go to a concentration camp, and your next door neighbor was Soros, and you survived the concentration camp, although when you're in the camp, it's very fucking miserable and you're very fucking unhappy and you're like not even eating, you have no meat on your bones because there's no food. You're pooping and peeing in like nasty it's like disgusting. And then you come out and you see Soros has taken all of your family's clothing, tables, chairs, furniture, and he took them from you. And then you find out that he's now a billionaire. Is that karma? And when before you were taken off to the camp, you were a well-known doctor in the area. You were actually helping the city heal physically when they were injured. And Soros was a kid whose father was evil. And you couldn't stand them. But they were given opportunity by the Gestapo. And they took it because they don't believe in justice and they don't believe in karma and they don't believe in ethics or morals. So is what's going on with Soros and his family at this time is that karma, because the grandchildren of that should not have any money. And that goes for you too, Anschutz. What you've done to my hometown is appalling. And is that karma that we're receiving here because we always did right in our community? This community that I live in, we've done correct in the way that we lived our existence. While Obama over there told us that we weren't living up to his standards for people who are ignorant. Because Obama works with Soros. And then Obama says he went to Harvard. Or maybe it was Columbia. I don't know. He went to 2 schools. Who fucking knows? He went to 2 of those schools. I don't remember which one they are. And then Soros supposedly paid for his college. Is Soros Hungarian? So I'm not really sure what in your mind is karma, but to me that's not karma. And so if all of this is happening in the world, why is no one initiating the karma that needs to happen? Are you just going to sit around and wait? Because sitting around and waiting gets Soros billions of dollars in his bank account, which is what happened. And then what's so is that he abused millions of people in the process to become a billionaire off of corruption he learned from the Gestapo. And why is no one stopping him? Because nobody's going to know. And then there's a new generation that's coming behind him who's learned advanced techniques in abusing the world, because this is a global concern, folks. But instead you target what? Donald Trump? You literally are sitting in front of his face telling us that the country is not unified because of you, who's the reporter, Kristen. And then we remind you that Joe Biden is the president at this time. And then you're like, oh shit, I forgot. Because you're mentally ill. Which means you're calling yourself out for all the shit that you've done to destroy and distort reality so that you can create an illusion of existence to sell newspapers. But what you're doing is really fucking weird. What she does is really, really annoying and really fucking weird. Yeah, you want to call yourself weird because what you're doing is very fucking weird. You're literally distorting reality for yourself where you don't even know what's real and what's your illusion of what they told you to say, of what you actually believe, of what you're thinking, of what your family life is like, of what your work life is. I mean, I don't even know what the fuck's going on with you. That's called schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, ADHD, ADD. All of these people are creating this shit while they're going on podcasts, deteriorating Americans' education and giving kudos to the wrong people. And job and brand deals to people that are insignificant. And we don't want to look at Bella Hadid on Yellowstone. What a shitty ass show. What a bunch of lowlives.